First you go to the Procreate, you add a screen, and then you go in and then you pick out exactly, you can pick out a photo. Here I'm going to pick out a photo of a box right here that I'm going to use, and then I'm going to import that in on the first layer. And you kind of make sure that it's the way you want it to be and the size that you want it to be. Then you need to go in and you need to add a layer. This is very important that you must add layers, and I usually try to pick a color which is sort of a strong color so I can see what I'm doing when I start drawing on it. So you can see here I'm drawing. It's not quite straight. It will straighten it out for me, and then I can go in and I can, with a little arrow up there, and I can kind of straighten it as I need to straighten it to make it go against the box there. What's very important here when you're doing clipping mask is that you need to make sure that every single one of the corners are filled, or you can't be able to add another color on. So I'm going to pick another color here, and you can see here that it didn't go in. So you can see right there at one of the corners, it's not quite together right there. You see where I've circled it. So this means that it won't be able to fill in. So I have to go and then I have to sort of draw into that corner again to make sure that's completely filled. Now we'll try it again. See, there it goes. So that's my first layer that I'm using now. Now I go on and I add a second layer. And I'm going to basically go and repeat this process again. I'm going to outline where I want to be on the box. I'm going to straighten it. It will straighten by itself when you hold it down. And then I will, kind of adjust it to make sure that it's where I want it to be and how I want it to be. And you can kind of move it around as you need to. Then I'm going to go in and pick another color and make sure that it goes into the square that I've done. Now I'm going to do the top. I add a fourth layer. I'll go in and pick the red pen again, just because I like to be able to see exactly where I'm drawing. So you got to make sure you draw, again, the square box. And I don't really quite like that, so you can tap twice with your fingers and you can start over again. Okay, now I've drawn it there. Now I can take it in and I can adjust it as I need to. And there you see I'm bringing it down a bit into the corners, and I can take it and I can adjust it when the blue arrow is there at the top. Sometimes you have to take a little bit of work and try to adjust it a little bit. It can be a little bit fussy sometimes. I'm going to go then and pick another color, and there it fills in. Now I want to sort of add another layer to this. So I'm going to add I have to kind of, first of all, I'm going to adjust it just a little bit more, because sometimes you need to make sure the corners are exactly together, or you have a little bit of a problem that they're not hanging over or hanging on. So yeah, sometimes you have to take a little bit of time and just try to adjust it. So there, pretty much have the box. Now I'm going to add a fifth layer because I want to put some kind of like a handle or bar across the front of this box, because that's what I know that I want to have. I want to have sort of a metal bar. So if you let it hold it too much, sometimes it will go like a circle. So sometimes doing a rectangle that's a small rectangle is kind of a little bit fussy on Procreate. I'm not exactly sure why that is, but it happens. So sometimes you have to do it kind of a little bit bigger than what you need, so you can kind of get the rectangle, and then you need to sort of like adjust it and sort of move it in as you need it to be. That's one of the things that kind of bothers me a little bit about Procreate, is that the when you try to do something small, it can be kind of a little bit of a problem. And I don't really like that one. That didn't quite work very well. So I'm going to go back again and redo the layer again, just to try to see whether I can get it to be a little bit better. So here I go again with it. And I'm going to see if I can get a color into it. Yes, I can get the color in. And now I'm going to try to adjust it down. And this is going to be a little bit more difficult than some of the other adjustments, just because I've got to make it sort of smaller, hanging it a little bit over the edge. So this can kind of take a little bit of time to be able to play with this exactly, of exactly what you want to do and how you want to do it. I'm going to put it like underneath there. No, I don't really quite like the way that works, so I'm going to have to figure something out to be able to get this handle to work right. So you see how I can move the layers around, so I can move the layer back up again. This is a great thing about Procreate. No matter what you do, if you work with layers, you can always just get rid of one layer. Instead, I'm just going to kind of bring it together a little bit and try to bring it in just a little bit here and try to get it to work with it a bit more on that. So sometimes it does take a little bit of time. You have to work with it just a little bit to kind of get it exactly the way you want it to be. So there we go. We have the 5, I have, basically 5 layers for all of this now. And we still maybe need to just adjust it just a little bit. And even after I do the clipping mask and put everything else on, I can even then, even still adjust it a bit if I need to. So that's kind of, one of the great things about this program is that, you can play around with it as much as you need to play around with it. You can adjust things, but when you're adjusting, make sure that blue arrow at the top needs to be on if you're going to be, adjusting different things and kind of playing around with it a little bit more. Because sometimes some things like this that's really small like this, it can kind of take time. You have to really think about, do you want it hanging over the edge or not hanging over the edge, or how much over the edge, and all of those kind of things become important at the end of the day for all of the design things and all of the design aspects for it. So now I'm going to start going back now. I'm going to go back to my first layer. I'm going to insert a folder file, and I have this picture here, which is actually of a sea turtle shell that we're going to do. So you have to make sure that you kind of position it where you need it, because if when you do the clipping mask, you've got to kind of be able to judge it kind of just a little bit to see. You go in and you do clipping mask, and there it clips right onto it. Then you need to go to the next layer. You're going to repeat the same process, insert a photo, take the photo again that you want, make it to the size you want, and you have to kind of like sort of adjust, kind of see a little bit exactly, where you sort of want it to be. You can kind of look at the bottom one a bit and then kind of decide what you think would work for this. You have to sometimes kind of use a little bit of your judgment to see on it and see if that's kind of like what you want or if you don't want it. So you can go now to the top layer, and you can do the same thing where you're going to go in and you're going to insert a photo, but make sure you insert the photo on top of the layer. So you've got to work with layers when you're doing this clipping mask, or it will not work. Go in and then you can do the clipping mask. So there you kind of have the box, and you can decide how you like it. If you want to change, you can delete a layer like I just did there. Go in and insert the photo again, and you can adjust it as you feel you need to adjust it. Sometimes you have to play with it, a couple times to be able to get it what you think you want it to be. Because sometimes, it's a little hard to see, or you're just not sure. I don't know, I need to look at that and kind of decide again if I want to delete it. I want to delete the bottom now because I think I need to adjust it a little bit more to fit in with the other ones that I have here. So I can go there. Again, when you're working with layers, if you put the wrong layer on, then you have to do it all over again. So you see I put the wrong layer on. So you got to be careful when you're working with layers, that you've got to make sure that you, on top of the right layer that you want to do the clipping mask on, and that otherwise it's not going to work at all. So you're going to end up with kind of a bit of a problem. So now again, if you go to I'm going to do the metal bar, I need to go and find the color that I need. So I've got quite a few different, try to organize things into folders to kind of make it a little bit easier for me. I had some, metal colors here that I liked before. PVD finish. I can do a clipping mask on that. And there you have it. There's the box that has been done. This is really a great program because you can then take it and you can basically export the image. And you're done. That's all you need to do. It's a very simple, easy process, and it's a great way to be able to design products. Thank you so much for listening to our video about Procreate Made Easy, how to design a box. We really feel like Procreate's a great way to be able to design home decor products. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have a lot of other great videos about Procreate and other things about home decor. We'd also love to be able to hear from you, and feel free to go to our website at Mindoro.com or follow us on Instagram or Facebook or any of our other social media accounts. We would really love to hear from you if you have any product needs in Asia. And when you go into our website, we offer a free lookbook that has lots of great designs and a lot of, great trends, and we'd love to have you join with us. Thank you so much and have a great day.